I'm sure many of us have had our fair share of outdoor Nerf battles, and maybe left a blaster outside in the sun or the rain or whatever weather is currently happening at the time, which is no big deal. Nerf blasters are built to take a beating, even now. Pretty good plastic quality, but what would happen if you forgot about it for an entire year? What the I conducted this experiment starting in June of 2024. As of filming this, it's now June 2025. The experiment unfortunately ended a little bit early, and I left this on the roof outside my window, laying against a drain pipe, just to make sure it would remain undisturbed for the entire duration of the experiment. Depending on what parts of the world you're in, you may get different results, whether you're in a place that's always hot or always cold year-round. This has experienced all of that. It's experienced multiple different kinds of weather, high humidity, low humidity, all 4 seasons, both hot and cold, from over 100 degrees in the heat to below 0, basically. And I think the results are pretty interesting. I'm sure you already notice some discoloration on here, which it did not have before. I thrifted this at Goodwill in pretty good condition. It had some moderate wear, but nothing that was going to ruin the experiment. It had no discoloration at all. And I properly lubricated and cleaned it before leaving it outside, making sure if there were some dirts in certain spots that I'll know it wasn't there before, which I can see there is definitely some dirt ingrained in there. In fact, that doesn't really want to come off, so that is sort of, I scraped a little bit, but you see it's sort of ingrained in there. And this is the side that was in the sun, so this got all the heat damage. You see this barrel is now faded from the bright orange it used to be. And this used to be white. It is now a very off-white, kind of sandy color and texture. Well, I think I could probably get that off before I try to cook the other side. I kind of want to leave that, actually. And then back here, this stock used to have a cover on it. I'm kind of glad it didn't, because all this runoff from the roof above it sort of just dripped down in there, and this is just full of crap. And here's the other side. See that runoff, dirt and leaves just kind of piled up on there, and you'll see the white it used to be. See on the top there, and there's the barrel, what it probably should look like. Anyway, I'm going to try to get this apart in just a moment, but I want to see if it still functions. Oh! Yes, indeed it still functions. And now that I'm looking at it after pumping it forward, I may have had it pumped back a little bit. So now you can see really how discolored that is. So it remains perfectly functional. I'm a little worried about these rusted screws, but I'm going to see if I can't get the thing apart. I got every screw out, except for this one down here. You see there's some stains from WD-40 that would not unseize it. So I did have to drill it. But that is what this is for. I'm going to at least replace a few of these screws, if not all of them. Let's take a look at the extent of this damage. This is where you're really going to see it. Look at all that dirt down there. And the internal magazine spring is really corroded. Oh no, my old nemesis, a stink bug. Well, expected that to happen. They are all over the inside of my windowsill. Now for the most important mechanical component, where all your power comes from. No surprise there, all that white lithium grease is just sort of dried up. It's not too dirty in there. The spring kind of shot out. Let me take a look at that. Wow. The spring is immaculate. It was rusty when I got it. Well, not really. It was just corroded. So I cleaned that, and it seems to have held up perfectly. Well, that is surprising. Because I've seen some very corroded and rusty springs, and I've seen some that are so bad when they compress, they eventually just collapse in on themselves and break. This return spring right here is fine, and most of these internal screws appear quite salvageable. Just gotta put them in some WD-40 and get all that rust off, and we'll be good as new. And this shell, oh, it's gonna need a clean. I'm gonna go outside, even though it's over 100 degrees, I'm gonna go outside and spray this entire shell down. It is ready to be taken outside and cleaned. I got all of the internal components out. The side isn't as bad. This one looks like there was moss growing in there. And I found a second stink bug. Okay, I'm putting this back together here. I didn't deep clean it, but I gave it a clean. I used a hose. I didn't exactly use a pressure washer to clean all that gunk out, but it's clean enough. And I spray painted the screws in the magazine follower so that this lasts a little bit longer for future experiments. I just want a coat of paint on these because I didn't know this at first, but in the factory, they don't actually paint these parts black. They use some kind of oil to coat them. So really it's just bare metal under there. Let's get this back together and see how much better it works. And it is ready. It works perfect. And the slam fire even works perfect. This thing doesn't miss a beat now. But will it if I leave it outside again and bake the other side? I'm really tempted to do that, but if anyone has any suggestions for what I should do to this poor Fortnite shotgun next, I would love to hear them. I know I've been radio silent for about 6 months now on the Nerf stuff. This has been a very long time in the making, as other projects have been as well. But I have some Leonard triple shots coming in the mail very soon. That should be an interesting repair. And I have other repairs I'm doing as well, and experiments, projects, things like that. And that is all for today.